I'm cooking. That's how I feel.
Summer has reached its peak heat, and I was living the dilemma between hiding myself from the sun inside or taking my chances outside to find some fresh air. At some point, it just seemed that being at home was too unbearable and I had to go out. I looked for some place with water as I desperately needed to cool off. I traveled to Beaufort to go on a circular hike that would pass through Beaufort Castle and a stream valley.
I almost tapped into a snake. I'm glad I was looking at the floor. I looked at the floor, at the ground. Now I have to wait for the snake to cross. I think this is the camping. I found those small houses and triangular shape very nice. I'm actually gonna look it up for this later. I would like to sleep in one of those one day. Even though this is the place where I found the snake.
This hike starts at the Beaufort camping parking, and it doesn't take too long until you reach the castle. Right at the beginning, I came across a beautiful lake that looked like a magical moving painting. The ruins seen today are the result of medieval castle towers built between 1050 and 1650s and the 17th century residence built on the rock above the fortress.
I just started the trail and I passed the castle, but it's past midday. I'm starving and I don't know when I'm gonna find a nice place like this to eat again, so I decided to stop right in the beginning.
During the hike, I found many different rocks, lots of water, a few wooden bridges, and lots of mosquitoes. The trail goes along the stream, but require you to cross the water sometimes, stepping in the rocks. I saw many people enjoying the water to refresh themselves, and I would actually recommend that if you hike this trail, to go with sandals or take some towels so you can get your feet in the water. Finally, I think I found somewhere to sit just in the right place. I just had one sandwich for lunch and I'm starting to feel a bit weak. It's almost 2 p.m. Today I was going to do 13 kilometers hiking, but I was too tired. I would probably have to wake up like 6 a.m. or so to manage to get to the place by bus and then do the hiking. Consider that I stop all the time to photograph and to film and etc. Probably I would not manage to do it. I mean, yes, I would do it in one day, of course, but I would get home quite late and that's not what I wanted because I still have some things that I want to do today. So I switched to a trail in Beaufort. I'll search later how do I spell it, how do I say this name. And it seemed to be a nice hiking because you pass through a castle and it's along the river. And I really wanted to go somewhere with water today because it's quite hot and it would be nice to be in a fresh environment. I think this has been one of the most difficult hiking so far, in terms of how irregular is the trail. And it actually reminds me a lot of some hikings I did in Brazil, close to waterfalls. But here I feel like the trail itself, it's much more spacious and much more organized, and there are signals everywhere so you can find things more easily. While in Brazil, some places, if you go, you need to know where you're going. There is no sign, so you need to be with someone who knows the path, or you need to know the path, otherwise you can get lost, or you're not gonna get there, basically. Another difference is that those places, sometimes there was not really a path for you to walk, so it was kind of in the middle of the forest. Of course, depending on the place. There are places that have well-defined paths and they also have signs or they have guides to guide you, but I've been in some places where it's just a forest. You just go there, there's a waterfall, and then people sit around a big rock or where they can find a place to sit. And here you see There's even a place for me to sit in the middle of the forest. That wouldn't happen there, not in the places where I've been. The last part of the hike goes along some farms and fields, and I found myself surrounded by yellow flowers sometimes and bees. I have been walking straight forward like forever. I did most of the trail, I think, more than 6 kilometers so far, but looking at the map still feels like I'm just halfway through. Of course, I'm not considering that maybe I have to check which way I need to go. Yeah, so I am not considering that maybe now the path is easier. I just go like in one direction, there's no curves. I don't have to go up and down any hills. It's just like a regular path, so maybe that's why when I look at the map it looks like there's still a lot to walk, but not really. What scares me the most hiking here is actually the bees. And I know I saw a snake today, but when I see bees, I don't know what to do because they fly. Sometimes they fly fast. I don't see where they are going, where they're coming from. I just keep hearing these bzzz in my ears, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if they're just going to pass through me and ignore me completely and let me go my way without, I don't know, trying to do something with me. But yeah, I kind of paralyzed, and I just saw a big bee a few minutes ago, and it was right on the spot that I wanted to take a picture. So one moment, I need to check. Yeah, I'm on the right way. So yeah, I really wanted to take the picture, so I waited and the bee wouldn't go away. So I waited a bit more, and then I tried walking a bit because it felt like it was following me, because I kept listening to the noise and louder. It felt like he was right behind me somewhere. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it was there. And I didn't know what to do, so I kept walking in circles, trying to get rid of it, and it wouldn't go. And I think I feel so scared when I hear a bee and when I see one, that in fact after the bee was gone, I could still hear the noise in my head. Bzzz, and it was kind of far. It was no longer there, but I could still listen to it. And I was still like, oh my god, is he coming back or not? So in a lot of these hikings that I do here in Luxembourg, there's always a part of the path that it's in the middle of the fields. I was thinking that I was not gonna go through the fields this time, but apparently I am. I don't see any other path to follow.
think this is the first hiking that I'm doing here, and I'm complaining about it because this is the first hike that I'm doing in a weather that is actually hot, and I'm cooking in the sun. I'm cooking. That's how I feel.
I wish I had a bike. I would get to the end of this road really fast, or a skate, or anything that's light.
I feel tired and smells like shit here. And the sun continues to be really hot. So after I finished the fields, I started going through the city in between houses, and I'm still cooking. It's too hot. So we have a chicken digging a hole. I didn't know chickens do that. Why is it digging a hole? We put eggs in it. Or is he doing like the birds and like taking a shower, but in the ground? No idea. Time to go home. My feet are hurting very bad, and I am so tired.
I still had to wait for quite some time for the next bus, but I was happy and relieved to finish the hike. I also got lucky to find a light breeze and beautiful gardens in the last few minutes of hike, which really helped to alleviate the heat of the long road I walked under the sun. If you got curious about the castle, the website says it can be visited inside from April to November. I hope you enjoyed the beautiful landscapes and watching me burn under the sun. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you in the next story.